Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to Bon Jovi. I have heard them before, but I'm not sure if I've heard this song. I was usually a living on a prayer kind of gal when I had to sing karaoke. So today we are going to watch the official music video for Wanted Dead or Alive. Here we go. Sorry, I have definitely heard this song before. We're going back. I don't know why I never recognize titles, but technically not a first reaction. Here we go. Why I never put two and two together. Even knowing that I knew this song, I was still taken aback because I didn't realize it was Bon Jovi. This is definitely one of those songs that would just come on the radio enough that I knew it, and yet I never did any research to find out who was singing it. This all makes sense because my impression of this particular song, it was very, there's some country elements to it, a bit of twang throughout, and obviously within the context, within the actual lyrics, it makes sense that, I guess I was just thinking of, I was trying to imagine some sort of country singer, but we're gonna go back. I'm sorry, I'm so in my thoughts today. Anytime I'm caught off guard like this, I have a stream of consciousness that I end up blurting out. So here we go. Jon Bon Jovi has just one of the most incredible rock voices. It can be so elegant and smooth and buttery, and yet he has texture. There's grit, and his musicianship and artistry as a whole are just a completely separate topic because I think he's brilliant. But in this particular section, I like the harshness we get at the onset of his vocals. We're getting glottal onsets, we're getting a lot of press, and I think it's very striking when you have such a simple melodic opening in the guitar.
Only the names will change every day. It seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home.
those tiny little variations when we get that really buttery, elegant, slightly airier sound in contrast to the powerful rock star voice that we get through a lot of his music. I think I love the contrast. I love the variety.
I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's not for days. The people I meet always go their separate ways. Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. Times when you're alone, all you do is think. I'm a cowboy.
Tiny little nuances within his vocal texture. I think they definitely helped him when we think about the longevity of his career. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, that can be very taxing on the cords, which is why even if it's just in practice or rehearsal, it's good to warm up. It's good to stretch your range. It's good to do different onsets. It's good to incorporate different textures. But he's always done that within performance. In this case, I feel like, well, maybe not so much. I mean, he's got quite the range. I would say he started this at least in mid and then sort of entered into a more chest dominant mix. It's just, I have so many thoughts. Sorry, let me just back it up to the little texture shift I was talking about.
Sometimes it's not for days. The people I meet.
It really does feel like there's good tension here, and then later,
Always go their separate ways.
nice relaxation as he descends. So doing things, allowing textures to come in and out in a way that feels natural to how the voice wants to produce sound. As we are lower in our range, it's a lot easier for people to incorporate fry. It's easier for us to have more airflow because the chords are more relaxed. And so just embracing those natural habits that we already have in speech, I think is brilliant.
Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. Times when you're alone, all you do is think. I'm a cowboy.
Another one of those texture things. As he went higher, more engagement of the CT muscle, and then we got that, it wasn't even a yodel, but it did sound kind of like a flip with a little bit more head mix in there. Like another nice little variety in texture.
Bottle that you drink. Times when you're alone, all you do is think. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive.
I know this is an official video, so I'd have to watch a live recording, but something that strikes me about his tone is there is that beautiful combination that I love of brightness but space. And at least the few clips that we've seen of him singing, it's easy to incorporate that brightness when we have more forward placement, but something that I'm noticing just with his like almost like his bone structure, it seems like he already has a lot of natural space built into his oral cavity. And so I don't know that he has to, I would imagine that depth of sound that I'm hearing is just because of like the natural space he already has. Because yes, you can certainly create more space, but it doesn't sound like he has to do that. And it really, like, there are moments like between like the, you know, the jawline and the cheekbones, it's like, it looks like this really beautiful square shape almost. So I imagine that that's helping give us that richness. A good clip. I don't know if this is gonna get blocked, but just the there's so much width in his vowels, and yet because of that natural height, he's not really opening his jaw super wide or hyperextending or anything, but we get that richness even though there's so much spread. And I think we could have like a whole separate video conversation about genetics and how the shape of your body and your bones and all of that, how everything affects your singing sound and voice to an extent, but more like your resonators and everything. I think it's so cool. The gentleman on guitar who was also doing some vocals, killer voice, both tone and texture, and he matched Jon Bon Jovi so well. It's kind of funny to think because, you know, you encounter some bands that they just can never find the right vocalist, and then you have other groups who they are just stacked with singers, not just the lead vocalist, but everyone else in the band. So it was cool to hear him. I don't know that I've ever really taken the time to just listen to Jon Bon Jovi's voice. It's always, you know, some sort of anthem or really cool rock song, and you kind of get swept away in all of the climactic moments that you hear in those kinds of songs. This is such a great one that I didn't even talk about phrasing, which I should have, because when you have these songs that just sort of pulse along, and he made it feel like that wasn't the case. I felt, I don't know, he just extends his lines in such a beautiful way, and the way he utilizes his breath in that process so that we're not getting a lot of gasping or interruption of the melodic line because of the need to breathe. I mean, so much can go into that. And then the way he supports, I mean, he, again, official video, but just the few clips when you could see how engaged he was. It wasn't like neck up stress, tension. It was full body engagement and support. And I love seeing that. And again, I think that goes back to the longevity of his career and just all the really good, healthy habits he had at the onset that enabled him to continue for decades. And you even saw like that little clip of one of the other band members stretching. So, you know, just taking care of yourself when you're on tour, when you're on the road, and, you know, doing what you can to preserve your instrument, I think is important. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me. And hopefully I will see you next time.